Yeah, yeah. Finally at a place there where I can. This is one of my where I'm at now. This is one of my groves, right, where I normally sit down with my communication device. My pedagogical pod. I keep it real. That's why I couldn't say authenticity. It's authenticity, right? Because I got a plate and everything, and it needs to be tightened up. That's what it is. See, it's got loose again, so I have to go back to my dentist and have him tighten it up. But I have a partial plate. That's why I couldn't say the word authenticity correctly. Okay, authenticity. But I wanted to. I deleted the live video so I can go live record this right, and I'm gonna upload this on YouTube, then on to Facebook. Okay, because sometimes my Wi-Fi don't act right. As I'm gonna tell you something right now, it's part of the conspiratorial digital divide. Right, it's not to provide the same quality level of electronics and or access to communication via Wi-Fi and other platforms, right, in the inner cities. You understand? That's real, right? It is deliberate. It's part of the quote unquote national security. Really, it's a power dynamic. You understand? Because something break off, then stop it, then cut off the internet, cut off the Wi-Fi. You understand me? Interrupt communication, interrupt the cell phone communication, telephone communication. In a word, they can flip the switch and cut off lines of communication in the inner city, if need be, right? But that's something else that we need to talk about, but not in the public, because talking about communication, the necessity for us being having the ability to communicate, that's strategic. Okay, that's strategic, and we shouldn't talk strategically in the public. On these social media platforms, it's public, and we cannot talk strategically in the public. Okay, but what I want to talk about is when I logged on live. I was in East Baltimore then. I'm in West Baltimore now. Back in West Baltimore, uh, I logged on first. First I let me always seek refuge in the law from Satan, the rejected enemy. Right. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. All praise due to Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Right. Lord of all the worlds, master of the day of judgment. Okay. I mean, and I'll always like to start off with the top portion of Al-Fatiha, because it's totally about God. It's totally about God. I mean, don't get me wrong. Right? Don't go off into some, dogmatic tangent, right? But I like to use the first top half of Al-Fatiha because it's solely about Allah. Solely about Allah, right? I don't. Well, I'm saying all big head and everything, but I don't need to be protected from going astray. Okay, I noticed since I was 11 years old, I found out, I want to know the truth, and I did. So there's no need for me to be guarded against going astray. I think I can say that, right? I really believe, really understand this process to the point where I can say stuff like that. Okay, I'm just not being big-headed and don't know what I'm talking about. Overly fundamentalistic. Okay, overly, but fundamentalistic. Okay, but what I want to talk about is the 50 years prophecy, the importance of 50 years prophecy, and the importance of us. We were summoned. We were summoned to straighten out, right? The finality of prophethood argumentation, because that's what it is. It's an argumentation, and it's fallacious. And we were summoned to straighten that out. Noble Drali Alehi Wasallam was sent here. You understand? We're victims, submerged in a horrendous, peculiar, and violent process, condition, mental slavery. We enslaved mentally, but it is upheld by violence. It is a political, psychological instrument, right? Confining instrument or confining condition, right? Where we must extricate ourselves, right? And when we do, every time we do go about a process of extricating ourselves, these people resort to violence. When we wake up, you understand me, and take the mental keys off and unlock the shackles on our minds, right? But they react violently. This is the sustaining. This is the chain. You understand me? You have two chains wrapped around your mind, right? You got the chain, you got a mental chain, then you got a military, you got the threat of violent chain. You understand me? The threat of violence. That's a psychological dynamic as well, right? But, violence beget violence, okay? But I want to talk about the importance of the 50 years prophecy and its relationship to Kalima Shahada. Kalima Shahada, no question about it. La ilaha illallah anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasulullah, right? There's no God but Allah, and Muhammad is the servant and messenger of Allah, right? And, there's no God but Allah, and Nabi Ali alayhi wasallam was sent here to lead us back to Allah, to, La ilaha illallah anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Noble Ali was sent here to redeem us from mental slavery, right? Redeem us from our sinful ways. Well, that's the other way around. Redeem us from our sinful ways, redeem us from mental slavery, and lead us back to the Qibla. That's the whole thing in a nutshell. And it's wonderful when you get into it because, it's true. It can be proven beyond a shadow of a doubt. That's what makes it so wonderful. You understand? It corrects the current tafsir of Surah 33, 40, 41. Muhammad is not the father of any of you men, right? But he is the seal of the prophets, and the law has knowledge of all things. Got to get into that. Check this out. This is the true, correct interpretation, right? Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? The apostle of Allah Ta'ala, right? What's meant by the seal is that the Quran and Sunnah and the way Islam is practiced, that's seal. That shall never change, right? Maybe for the next 26,000 years. Well, who knows? It's up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You understand me? But that shall never change. And check this out. If a group of people go through a horrendous episode of national trauma, you understand? And in the transatlantic African enslavement trade system, right, and era, it may be more horrendous than the days of Jahiliyyah. The days of Jahiliyyah was a period of horrendous period of national collapse and everything that fit the criteria for a messenger to be sent, a prophet to be sent. Sometimes people pray to God to get relief from an adverse condition. And who us to say that he won't send a prophet? Sometimes the Holy One has sent a prophet to a certain situation that only he can straighten out. That's when he sent us a prophecy. This stuff about God coming down here in person and doing something, that weakens Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? My God is not that weak. Just like somebody in marketing, in the corporation, right? In marketing, coming over there in finance, right? Or IT, and doing some things over there because the people in there can't get it right. That the old adage, if they can't do it right, then you got to do it yourself. That's where that adage comes from. God ain't that weak. God ain't that weak. He got to come down off of the throne in Al-Arish and come down here and do something. You understand me? Because the people that he sent down here to straighten out stuff can't be able to get it done. You understand? It's not the message you sent. It's the people who receive the message ain't obeying the prophet. That's why we still enslaved these people. Not being Prophet Noble Drawley alayhi wasallam and the Honorable Marcus Garvey alayhi wasallam. You know, this is the prophetic team that was sent to us. You understand me? And they comforter. You understand me? We had a prophet, had a forerunner, had an interim prophet. Check that out, an interim prophetic God. Noble Drawley reincarnated. Brother John Givazil alayhi salam. Allah didn't leave us comfortless. You understand me? You gotta get into it. It's deep. It's wonderful. You gotta get into it. Then the fulfillment of the 50 years prophecy by Timothy Dingle Ill, Noble Drawley alayhi wasallam. You understand me? Take us into the next phase of our liberation process. You understand? A lot of things are being clarified and straightened out. Right? Let me tell you something. Back to what I was saying about Kalima Shahada. We take our Shahada, after you're supposed to take your Shahada. When you get nationalized, you're supposed to, after you get nationalized, you take your Shahada. It's right there and brothers don't ever talk about it. It's right there on the white stone, Moorish American Nationality Identity Card. The white stone, that's the scriptural term for the Moorish American Nationality Identity Card. It's right there on the white stone. I declare you a Muslim under the holy divine laws, I declare you a Muslim under the holy divine laws of the Holy Quran of Mecca. See what I'm saying? And then, you don't even have the Holy Quran on the altars in the temples. You got brothers don't even read out of it. See? Because they're stuck. They're hard-headed. See? They're hard-headed. Most times Temple America is the shiznick. But a lot of them don't even realize it. See? That's why that's why they're failing. That's why we're failing. That's why we're failing. You understand? I have to say, it's not I'm not trying to besmirch or belittle or to think and talk down and or about, our brothers and sisters, in other organizations, in the nation. I'm just saying, because we don't subscribe to the belief that God came in person, right? Don't know Muslims subscribe to that. I have to say it. And I'm sorry if I appear to be offensive, and I'm telling you what my intentions are, right? I'm not being offensive, right? We're for peace and not destruction, especially from your own, okay? You got Negro, Black, and Colored on your record. You my brother and sister, okay? You can't deny that. Someone was sent because we got Negro, Black, and Colored, and Ethiopian on our government classification records. The prophet was sent because there was an attempt to remove us from the human family. You understand? And everybody got Negro, Black, and Colored, and Ethiopian, you understand me, on their human and or government racial classification records, right? Noble Drawley and the Honorable Marcus Garvey alayhi wasallam, may Allah be pleased with them. They are our prophets. You understand? And you can try to refute it if you want to. That stone is heavy, baby. That stone is triple heavy, okay? Get up under it if you want to, okay? But I want to say that when we take Kalima Shahada, we bear witness there's no God but Allah and Muhammad is his messenger. And we thank and bear witness. We thank Allah. And we thank and praise and honor Allah, you understand, for sending us Prophet Noble Drawley to lead us back, you understand me, to the Qibla. Lead us back to the fold of Al-Islam. To lead us back to La ilaha illallah and the Muhammad Abduhu Rasulullah. You understand me? We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because that's what Joe Noble Drawley's mission is. See? I'm going to tell you, it's another criteria to determine who a true prophet or not. When a prophet comes to straighten out something that a nation is going through and everything, then he leads that nation back to the Sunnah. That's a true prophet. This is what Noble Drawley did. Get into Noble Drawley's mission, right? That's one thing I'm upset with guys who were blessed enough, to get formally educated and everything. They're not writing companion literature on Noble Drawley. See, there's good money in it. Especially if you don't lie. You don't slant your stuff. Get into it. Tell the truth. There's blessings in the truth. The truth is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Truth is art. And art is a law. Another word for truth is holy breath. You understand me? I know a few brothers and sisters who are well matriculated, well educated, and they're not working for the Prophet Noble Drawley alayhi wasallam. Their services are not solely geared toward the nation. the Moorish American Islamic National, movement. They doing what they doing. They out for self. They doing what they want to do. Now, I ain't gonna mention the brother's name, but it's a brother in the Resurrection faction. Got a master's degree and everything. Brilliant youngster. And rather than he wanted to be a paid employee. I understand that, but he didn't want to be a part. But I had to test him first. I had to try him first, right? See where he was. See where his heart was. See, because I'm looking for a partner. I wasn't just looking for a paid employee. Okay, I'm looking for captains. Okay, people who can think. People who can run stuff. People who can write. Because that's what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be writing. Okay. This demonstration is deep, right? Everything we do, I can find in the scripture. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. If you can't substantiate what Noble Drew Ali brought scripturally, in both the Quran and the Christian scriptures, right? You don't know your lessons. You're still a lightweight. You understand? It's like the scripture, the Moorish American nationality and identification card, right? The scriptural term for that is the white stone. It's also in the book, the modern day Zabur, the book of the revelation of the visions of St. John the Divine. That's the full title of the book of Revelations, right? Did you know that? The book of the revelations of the visions of St. John the Divine, right? That's the modern day Zabur. And the foundation of that is in the Kitab. Oh yeah. That's why I use it, see. That's why, you can find everything Noble Drew Ali brought, you can find it in scripture. You understand me? When you can do that, then, Allah Ta'ala really shows you that kind of stuff. That's the criterion, too, who the teachers that you should be listening to. Teachers that can prove stuff to you. Not the one you listen to. Teachers that can provide a balance, right, between the secular and the divine. That's the teacher you should listen to. You don't listen to people who only talk of law and civics and everything and don't, These are misguiders, okay? What the law says. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality. Check it out. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality. It didn't say with them, did it? It didn't say with those, did it? It didn't say with these, did it? It says with us, all members must proclaim their nationality. And we are teaching our people and their nationality. We are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed. See, it didn't leave it out. Did it leave it out? What is our divine creed? Islam. La ilaha illallah and Muhammad abduhu rasulullah. Right? The 5 pillars. You understand me? The 6 articles of faith. You understand? This is our creed. You understand? This is Aqidah. Right? And a lot of brothers say, well, you believe from Noble Drew Ali, your Aqidah. No, it's not. It is a correction of the tafsir of Surah 33:4. The finality of prophethood is flawed, I'm telling you. And we will summon to straighten it up. We will summon to straighten it up. I didn't mean to switch gears like that. It's just so important, okay? But let me get back on Act 6, right? Because that's a real important, because I'm so full. My cup runs over. Okay, at the risk of sounding like a big head fool, I'm not. But I studied this thing for years. It's wonderful. Sometimes I don't know where to start. That's what just happened. But let me get back on Act 6. Right, Act 6 is something else. You have to study Act 6. You thoroughly understand Act 6 of the Divine Constitution of the Moorish Telling America. The Holy Covenant. That's what it is. The Divine Constitution of the Moorish Telling America is a holy covenant. Understand that demonstration. You understand? It's a powerful demonstration. Right? And it's one of the reasons why Noble Drew Ali changed Timothy Dingley, you understand me? Daddy Good changed the vowel sound of Ali to L-I. You understand me? It's powerful. Got something to do with that I. You understand me? On the Divine Constitution bylaws. You understand me? And listen to what this master said of the other organization, N-O-I, from the West. N-O-I. You understand me? N-O-I. Well, we have a noble Drew ally, then you have NOI. That's a master. So these are masters telling you what's going on. You got to get into it. You understand me? Noble Drew ally. You understand me? NOI. You understand me? From the west, NOI. From the east, ION. Ion. You understand me? Got to get into it. You understand me? This is a scientific academic process. Don't be here arguing and going with all a bunch of stupid stuff. Just then you reveal that you're still on the plantation. You ain't learned nothing. You still on the plantation. Want to fight and can on everything rather than thinking. It comes from being raised in a single parent household, raised with females. You know what I'm saying? You act like a female. All emotional and always want to win an argument and everything. Want to have the last word and everything. These are female traits, man. And boys don't do. That's why boys have to be raised like. That's why in the temple supposed to, everything what the nation has in terms of how to raise children, raise our people. Get our people from off the level of the beast. It's supposed to be in the Moore Science Temple of America. You understand? These procedures and traditions and everything that gives us our humanity back. See, it's supposed to be in the temple. You got these brothers, they hard-headed, and they ain't gonna wrestle somebody knock their brains out. Keep it real. They ain't gonna wrestle somebody knock their. That's when they get moving. When somebody knock your brains out. See, it shouldn't. Well, I'm tell you something. It's in the record. It's in the record. I seen it. Right? I seen it. I saw it when I started studying intently the cover of the Resurrection book. That cover. It's the west side. That's the west side cover and the east side cover, right? Then you have the binder. The binder says he's noble Drew in this new earth time now. On the binder of the Resurrection book, right? On the west side, I started studying the west side cover of the Resurrection book, right? And I saw it. You understand me? Some of y'all gonna get cut for real. For real. Got your hard head, you're disobedient. Right? And guess what? You're hard headed and disobedient. These people who are gonna get cut, actually, they're criminals. They're hard-headed and disobedient because they have an agenda. It's a personal agenda, right? They're robbers. They're agents, right? They're enemies to the cause of uplifting our people. And who shall catch them? What shall catch them? Justice. Adol. You understand me? It's real. But understand Act 6. When you understand Act 6, when you have a thorough understanding of Act 6, you know that the Moore Science Temple of America is a government. You only proclaim your nationality with a government. Right? Isn't that right? You only proclaim your nationality with a government. The prophet tells us that it's incorporated and recognized by this government in all the nations of the world. That's a powerful clause in the divine warning for the nations, right? The divine warning for the nations is extraordinary. Got to get into it. You got sometimes you got to take each sentence, really, each sentence by sentence. Each sentence is a seed that you can plant and grow an intellectual garden. Each sentence is like a mustard seed. You know how big a plant a mustard seed produce, right? The same, information that can come. You can take a sentence, anything the prophet said, and write a book on it. That's why I'm angry with brothers and sisters who have education or not building companion literatures to the prophet Noble Drew. I'm upset with them. See, I'm upset with them. And we're supposed to have a watchdog committee because if you don't have your own publication firms, book publication firms, who got to publish your work, and he put all kind of mistakes and stuff in there, right? I'm upset for them about that too because they're hard. They won't listen to me. See, I cause confusion. I cause disruption. I'm gonna have to say, that is a goddamn lie. See, it's jealousy. It's who wants to be in charge, who wants to be seen and all that. See, in this process. God chooses the leaders in this process. That's what they don't want to understand, see. That's what makes them criminals. Especially if you got an education and everything. If you got an education and then you still disobedient, you're really culpable. You understand? That's why I said that, what I said about Professor Michael Dyson, Eric Dyson. That's why I said what I said about it. See, because I see it. And the same thing goes for Cornel West. How in the hell are you going to be a PhD and you're not a Moorish American Muslim? That's the truth about us. On Earth, in the West, especially in the Western Hemisphere. We got a history. We built a civilization up here in Spain. That's real. How in the hell are you going to be a PhD, especially in the seminary, in religion, and you're not a Moorish American Muslim? You're not talking about the Prophet Noble Drawli alayhi wa sallam. You can't do that with me. You can't tell me that. See, I studied this process. I know what the truth is. Since I was 11 years old, I've been wanting to know what is the truth down here. Why that sun burning 24/7, 365? It's a big ball of fire, but ain't no oxygen out there. What's keeping it burning? And I found out. But one truth down here, and it's Islam. Everything else is branches of it. And the Holy One sent somebody down here every 2,000 or 3,000 years to straighten it out, dust it off, put it back on track. Last person to do that was Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is holy breath, man. Right? And stop these brothers that talk about they the government and they want you proclaiming nationality. They lying. And they committing treason. They committing high crimes. They committing I'm gonna tell y'all something. They committing capital crimes. The capital offenses. Read the authority and power of the prophet. The prophet announces his authority and power in the Moorish literature pamphlet. Look at the emphasis. There are clauses in there where he strongly emphasizes things, right? He will say, every time the prophet uses the word positively, not. Every time the prophet say, and it uses the term positively not, that's a strong emphasis. He said he will positively not allow interference in the process of this movement. That's an emphasis, right? That is a triple emphasis. That means, it's dangerous. That's what it means. It's dangerous to interfere with this organization. That's what it means. He ain't playing. And see, that's what they don't understand. This is what they had to be made to understand. Am I talking now? The hell they think they is? The hell they think this is? Huh? Everybody that's lying, you understand me, is a minion of Shaitan Irajim. Because of the lie, you understand me, is his chief weapon. You understand me? The first lie he told was on himself. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The first lie that Shaitan told was on himself. I'm better than him. The first lie he told was on himself. And you know what? Those are the worst lies you can tell. It's a lie on yourself. That's why did you get treated bad? You lie on your penis down here, in the hood. With your bunch of boys, the boy talk. If you lie on your penis, that's bad. Don't lie. The worst thing you do is lie. I'm serious. Out of everything, all the bad things in life starts with a lie. You're lying. Lying to yourself. If you're lying to yourself, doggone well you're lying to everybody else. You lying to that man in the mirror, you understand me? It's going to reflect back to you and everybody's going to see it. Everybody's going to see what you see. Sometimes you don't see what everybody sees. Most of the time, people can see you better than you can see yourself. You understand me? Some lies are so clear, you understand me, that they're transparent to the person who told the lie, but they're not. But they're opaque to the people who can see and hear, who have eyes to see and ears to hear, you understand me? The more scientists see. That's another thing about more science, right? More science. I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? I'm gonna give it to you. In the Quran, it says this was the reasoning that we gave Abraham. Didn't the Holy One say that? This is the reasoning we gave Ibrahim alayhi salam. That same reasoning that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave to Ibrahim alayhi salam, Noble Drowley brought it to us. Same process. You understand me? If you get into it, you know who Noble Drowley is. Didn't Ibrahim alayhi salam had a nephew? Yeah. This thing is deep. Y'all gotta stop playing. But that's enough. That's enough for right now, right? Can't gulp down this royal wine divine. You understand me? You get drunk, right? It's, when I mean drunk, I'm talking about psychosis. There's a psychosis to this demonstration. I know a lot of brothers got high up in more science, right, and went astray, and they lost their minds. I mean, bad brothers, Mo Greasy, you understand me? Another brother named Mo Greasy, Timothy Pennell too. These brothers, it was something else. It was something else. I mean, PhDs just come over course side of Hagerstown and talk to them, and they have them going in books and everything, telling them what's on pages and stuff. Well, if you go in this book on page so-and-so, in paragraph, this paragraph number this, you'll see this, I'm sitting there next to listen to these brothers, right? These brothers was something else, but they went astray. They didn't stay, they didn't stay on Shahada al-Mustaqim. And you know what? Allah Ta'ala took their minds, took them good minds from them. And that's where they come from. That's where this light come from. Light comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Light comes down. Light don't go up, light comes down. Light is up, you understand me? That's where the light is. The light is straight. That's why all the trees, you look at the trees point straight up to the throne of God, where the light is. Even on the mountainsides, trees are pointing, straight up. There's maybe some sort of perversion with the roots and everything. They're growing out, at an angle. But even on the mountainsides, trees are growing straight up because they're pointing to the throne of Allah, where the light comes from. We need to understand that, see? We need to understand that. A lot of brothers don't believe Allah is in charge of our liberation, of our national liberation. They don't believe it. That's why they're doing what they want to do. You understand me? And they're failing us. We need to understand that, young Turk Moors. We need to understand that. These old people that's disobeying the prophet, they got to get the hell out of here. You understand me? They don't have to go home because we can't send them home because the real home. See, because we ain't in charge of the real home, right? We don't know if you're going to go home or not, but you know what? You got to get the hell out of here. Get that hell. You got to get that hell up out of here.